Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My YouTube name here is Mythical Twist, and it has been a while, hasn't it? Let me give you a little bit of context as to what's been going on. So recently I've been coming to terms to looking at my past, and that's been really hard to do because I'm at a point where I'm starting to feel more comfortable with my life, where I have a stable job. I feel like I have some security in my life, and financially things are getting better despite the ridiculous increase of inflation. I feel like things are getting a bit better, and I've been very grateful for that, but I began to realize that I really needed to start looking back on the past and what I'd been dealing with in my life for so long. So that's what I'm here to explain. So first and foremost, I do hope to get back into making YouTube videos, at least try to do them once a week. We'll see how that goes. Once a month, I'm gonna make that my main goal. December is probably going to be one of the trickiest months for me because of my job and my work. I definitely tend to be the most busy during that time, but I might do this just to give myself a little bit of a break from all the chaos of Christmas. So that we might see what happens the closer we get to that month, but for now I am definitely going to try to do my best with this. I want to keep making YouTube videos about crystals because a lot of you who have subscribed to me are, of course, people that know me from my workplace. So I really want to be able to provide you the information that you've gotten from me at my workplace to help you out. So maybe this video might do that. Who knows? But let's just get started. I have really bad anxiety. On top of that, I also suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, which I didn't realize was a thing you could suffer from unless if you were a soldier who went to war. That was the only way that I thought you could get that. But then after learning a lot of things, I began to realize that, oh, that makes a lot more sense. And a lot of the things that I've been learning are from journal entries that I did when I was younger. And it's been really, really difficult reading some of them. There's stuff that I didn't even remember. And there's big portions that I've left out of my life that I've begun to realize and recognize around about timelines of when really intense stuff happens. So I'm not gonna go too into detail about a lot of stuff, especially because some words YouTube censors, and I don't think YouTube should censor it. I think that if it's about somebody's story and life experiences, it should be allowed. If it's something that somebody is planning to use in a very extreme and negative way, then we need to probably discuss about allowing that on the platform. But that's YouTube's forte, so I'll be probably trying to censor the words the best that I can, give you some context of maybe what it's leaning towards. But anyways, let's begin a little bit, shall we? I grew up in a very small town, and I had a mother and father, obviously. That's usually the case for most people. They both raised me to be Mormon, and so I grew up Mormon for a huge chunk of my life, and it wasn't until, I want to say, about 3 to 4 years now back since I've stopped practicing the religion altogether and have stopped making it my main belief altogether. My father was an ex-criminal. He had committed a serious crime. So there's some background to give you an idea of what happened. When I was 10 years old, I went through a really severe car crash, and it was me, my mother, my father, my oldest sister, my aunt, and my uncle. and I suffered some severe broken bones, lacerations internally, and then my mother suffered a lot of severe physical injuries. My father had a lot of severe injuries too. Don't want to go into too much detail because it was really bad and intense. My uncle also had some physical injuries, but he was able to walk around. And then my sister was fairly lucky. Her seatbelt actually worked the way that seatbelts are supposed to. And so while she didn't really suffer much physically, emotionally, she was very traumatized. My aunt, on the one hand, though, did not survive. And so that kind of gives you some context. A few months after this car crash would result then in my father and my uncle passing away not long after. So during this short period of time, I had to learn very quickly who and what death was. And I also had to begin to understand how short lives can be, because I didn't get the chance to enjoy much of my life with my loved ones and my family because they were taken from me very quickly. So there's some context there as to why I can very much sympathize with those who struggle with the death of a loved one, because I had to deal with that when I was 10. And it is hard. It is very hard. So a few years after that is when I would have my first sexual encounter. And I guess we'll see if YouTube censors this because I said that, but that is what it is. And it was, of course, with a girl. So, to give you some context, around about the age of 12, it was around about the year that 9/11 was going to happen. So that gives you some idea of what that year was like. And mind you, I had still was dealing with a lot of things emotionally. I was still wrapping my head around the fact that I no longer had a father, and so much more. And then there was the bullying that I constantly experienced at my school. However, the bullying would get 10 times worse after my encounter, and I didn't understand why at the time. So here's something ironic. Never once did I hear about stuff in the TV shows that I watched about people being gay. So I never knew anything about lesbians or gays or anything with the LGBTQ plus community. I had no clue that that was a thing. And I didn't even know that what I had done with this girl was classified as an act of being a lesbian. I just had no clue. That was not something that was in my mind, not once. And it was very weird. It's very weird now looking back on that, because I'm not sure why I didn't pay attention to that in the media, but I guess because I wasn't as into like mainstream media as other people were. Typically I was watching the Discovery Channel and watching all kinds of scientific channels and just enjoying the history and historical facts that they talked about, the way humanity formed and everything. I mean, that's how I learned about puberty, so that was where I got a lot of my info from. So because of that, I guess I just never really watched one that really explained what the LGBTQ plus community was really like. So I never understood that the way that I felt towards all genders was not normal. And now I do get it, and now I understand. Back then I didn't really get it. And it got even worse when I was brought to the bishop by my mother to tell him what had happened. Conversion therapy is funny. I never thought that I had experienced it. I was like, that's not a thing. But then when I look back on my journal entries, that was what was happening to me a lot. The bishop had to meet with me, I think almost every week. He would just sit down and he would just be like, okay, so today we're going to talk about this. And then afterwards, he would then look at me and say, now just remember, you're going to hell for what you did. There is no salvation for you. You are going to hell. That was said to me over and over again, and I never really understood, nor did I really take it into account. But it was why nobody responded to any of the assaults that would happen to me at my school by the bullies and much more. I began to realize that because of what I did and because of my sexual orientation, I was basically an easy target, and I also was not going to be helped in any way. And it took until now to realize that. Now, I don't need anybody to feel sorry for me. Not in the slightest. I have come to terms with what I had to deal with in my life, and I love myself. I've accepted my sexual orientation completely, which is being pansexual. And I also accepted the fact that I don't know or see myself as any particular gender. And I don't have any particular pronouns that I go by either. I'm perfectly fine and comfortable with people calling me he, she, they, them. You can call me whatever you want, really. I don't care. I've learned to not care because throughout all my years of bullying, I dealt with way worse. So now it's like people can't do much to hurt me anymore. And that's the thing I came to. And why I wanted to make this video. It's very short, and I'm kind of condensing a lot of stuff into this video. But I don't feel like anybody needs, like, the intricate details of things. The thing that I've learned the most was that the problem that religions and Christianity is refusing to see in themselves is that you're not being like Jesus Christ. I've read the Bible. I read it multiple times. And I read the Book of Mormon. And I've read other scriptural doctrine books. I mean, heck, I've read the Torah, I read the Quran, I've read so many other spiritual books because I felt like it was important to hear the other religions, what they believe. And I can tell you this much, if you truly, really believe in those gods, you might want to take a step back. Because no offense, the gods in those books are still terrifying. They remind me very much of, like, the description of Zeus and Odin and other gods who exist in what we term as mythology. And it's just like, if you can't see them as that, I don't know what to tell you, because they are very horrifying. But if you want to believe in the good message that they and the ones that they sent to teach us have taught, then please do. I feel like those good messages are good. The one thing that I've been grateful for that I gained from the church was a willingness and a wanting to serve. Like, I love going out and volunteering. That's a big thing for me. And I'm grateful for that. That is the one positive I gained. I think I want to do some more videos talking about not just crystals and what they can do for you, but talking about also religions and what they need to start reevaluating and rethinking about themselves, because we've lost everything that was once important. We're now just listening to Sadducees and Pharisees who draw nigh unto the Lord with their mouth, but their hearts are far from him. And that is scary and horrifying. And so, I don't know what content I'll be creating. A lot of it will be opinion based, so please don't take it to be facts or anything like that. I think a lot of it is just going to be me talking about my life experiences and things that I've learned and how I've had to work on myself, but I just want that to be understood. It's still just for myself more than anything. Before I close out this video, I do want to thank those of you who've watched any of my videos. I'm very grateful for you doing that. And I am grateful that I can still do something on YouTube. Even though I've been on this platform from the very beginning. But that's okay. That's what makes it fun. I hope one thing that you can understand is that if you're experiencing really difficult stuff, if things are falling apart around you, don't seem to be getting better, please keep walking forward. Perfect timing, truck. I just want you to understand that at age 10, I lost a big portion of my family. At age 12, I explored my sexual orientation and was condemned, chastised, and belittled for it. When I graduated high school, I stepped right into the middle of the '07 recession and had no way to get a job, struggled with money. I didn't eat for a long time there, and I starved myself, and it was really bad. And I struggled even after that with wanting to pursue my dream of being an author and having people belittle me for that and tell me I couldn't do it, and so I gave up on that dream. And then I've struggled with jobs left and right, trying to build my own businesses. I struggled. And I just want to say this, struggling isn't always going to make you stronger, because I personally don't feel stronger. I feel weaker. But the one thing that it has done for me is that it has taught me a lot of things. And the lessons that I've learned have helped me to be able to better help people who also explain their stories to me. Because I went through so much, I sometimes can better understand people and what they're dealing with. And I can better help them. And it's weird, it's still weird to me, when I have customers that are so grateful to just hear me recommend a few things or just listen to them. And I don't feel like I deserve that kind of praise, because I don't think what I said was amazing or incredible, but I am grateful that I can say something that can help people. Don't give up. I can't promise you that your life is going to get better. I wish I could, but that's not how it works. Some people have been extremely lucky. I mean, you look at PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. They all were struggling financially, and then they got big on YouTube. But I can't tell you you're going to have the same experience. But what I can tell you is that the things that you learn, the things that you develop, will make you able to better help people in ways that you never thought you could. I hope that we can start reaching out to one another more. I hope we can start helping each other out more. And thank you again for watching these videos. I definitely look forward to making more crystal videos. I have some crystals lined up that I will be talking about. And I hope that you will all enjoy my videos to come. And I guess we'll see how things go. Who knows? Life's a wild freaking roller coaster. That's all I know. Thank you guys again. I will see you next time. Bye.